know.
Definitely didn't come this far to turn around.
No, no. And you see, the thing about coming this far is that you go as far as you can go, and then you can see further. It's a beautiful thing, you know. And then if you pump your brakes a little bit when you're going around the curves and slow down, you get a chance to get a better and a different perspective.
Take something in for a minute.
You know. So today's topic, pump your brakes, is exactly that. It just something that you know, came to me as we were riding down the road. You know, if you just ride and all you're doing is accelerating. I mean, you're missing a whole bunch of opportunities to connect with the stuff that's going on around you, because things are really a lot clearer when you're moving a little slower.
No, your perspective you can kind of put in place when you actually take a minute to have a little observation and judgment, because you've taken a minute to really look at what you're maybe doing instead of running through it. So used to running, slow down.
Yeah, pump your brakes. I mean, it's something everybody knows, right? Everybody knows that term, pump your brakes. So that's what we're suggesting. Pump your brakes. You know, and then, you know, maybe have somebody get behind you and make sure the brake lights are working. You know,
and that's a different way of saying accountability partner.
Yeah,
Check my ass. Check
my
backside.
Check my back. You know, all these analogies, right? They all just make sense. You know, we were talking about what's going on when your check your engine light comes on your forehead. You know, what's going on inside your vehicle when that check engine light comes on, and where do you go to get your diagnostic check? You go back to them same old places where they gave you the screwed up service last time? Or do you find a new mechanic? You know, do you find a new place to go to get your services rendered? You know, because you keep going back to the same place. Guess what? Same thing's gonna happen. That's what they call insanity, right?
It's funny how them results just stay the same when you keep just trying the same.
Yeah, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, just don't work. You know. So anyway, I encourage you guys, pump the brakes, take some time, slow down, find out that thing that it is that you really enjoy doing. We're good to stop and think about it, stop and ponder it. Find that thing that you really enjoy doing, and spend some time doing that.
You gotta find yourself. Excuse me. You gotta maybe figure out what it is that. What do you like to do anymore? What can you do with your time? I mean, crap. Right now, you either have time or.
Yeah, a lot of sleeping going on.
Well,
I still
actually,
got the corona
I think
thing.
Judy just said, I think Sean missed his nap.
No, he didn't miss it. No, he didn't miss it. But you know, rest is a good thing. I mean, that's, again, slow down sometimes. Pump your brakes. You don't have to run 24/7. You know, if there was a good thing that happened about the, you know, shelter at home, was the time to stop. You know, stop and, I'm getting tired. You passing yards.
No, T didn't get his nap.
I did not get mine. We went up, we helped a good friend go up and get a piece of the restaurant equipment that they needed to open up their new little spot. And it's going to be great, going to be New Orleans style. And
so you learned the lesson. When somebody said, oh yeah, it's near Tampa. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
So is Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah. It's nearer than California.
That's true, but
You know, but hey, listen, what a great deal. You know, I mean, I know when I had my restaurant back in the day, restaurants, I never found a table, a sandwich,
refrigerated one.
Yeah, refrigerated one that worked and was in good shape, man. I mean, you're talking about a steal. That was worth the price of admission there. So, and that's a good thing. And so, you know,
Beautiful things.
we did that. We're on the road. Christy is spending some really valuable time with her daughter, and that's always really good to see. You know, and in a clean and sober state, which is also very interesting. You know, and so. And she, everybody on the trip with us today, and we stopped. And I want to give a shout out to Doreen and them over at Danny's. Danny's is on exit 329 off of Highway 75. This is a shout out. Really good food, really nice people. So exit 329, Danny's Bar and Grill.
Wherever the heck that is, I don't know.
We was hungry and got off the highway at exit 329 and found Danny's. And you know, the food was good, the service was good, and I told him I'd give him a shout out. So if you're ever in that area up there by Inverness, exit 329, Danny's. We'll get them as an official sponsor one day when they start telling, hey, I got a lot of people coming from this crazy show.
Because everybody
Talking
now
about-
goes to Inverness.
Well, exit 329, yeah, that's where it was, and that's what's it. And so, and so that was a good thing done. And so I'm encouraging you guys, if you haven't done that one good thing for somebody today, get it done. Get it done. That is our mandatory thing every day. So you got to do one good thing for somebody, you know, and I guarantee you the results will be fantastic for them and for you, because we live in a reap what you sow world.
And it can be as simple as just a, hey, how are you? Like a kind word.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
it doesn't take
Making a call.
it doesn't take having something or having to do a whole lot. Just even just that care, that shout out, that thought.
Make the call, make the
Make the
drive,
call.
make the sandwich, make the, you know, whatever it is. Make something. You do something for somebody. That's the world in which we live in. We're living in a world where it is becoming more clear day by day that we are in a real awakening. We're in a real flux. We're in a real great time of transformation. And don't be left behind. Don't be one of those people that, you know, there's three kind of people, right? You got the people who watch stuff happen. You got the people who wonder what happened. And you got the people who make things happen.
Be a doer.
Okay, make some stuff happen. The smallest of energies has a really huge effect. It's like that ripple effect, right? When you throw a rock out into a pond, that thing ripples all the way to the other side of that pond.
If you do it right.
If you do it right. You know, and so just the littlest of energies, littlest of efforts goes a very long way. And so we encourage you guys, like, wholeheartedly to, you know, pay it forward. Do a random act of kindness. I mean, there's all kind of ways you can talk about it and label it. Basically, it's just, let's find a way to be kind to one another. And if nobody's told you they love you yet today, we love you. We love you guys, like, really, really wholeheartedly. And not with just some kind of, you know, kind of little mushy kind of love or all romantic kind of thing. It is called what we like to call agape love. It's the love of God. It's the way God loves you. And if you love yourself the way God loves you, then you can love other people. And that's just that's the goal. That's our desire. Our desire is to get to the point where we can look ourselves in the mirror and not have regrets and the guilt and not fall into what's other people think about us. You know, to know that today we made it through and we did what we set out to do, and that was to stay clean and not use, and we made it through another 30 minutes or another 15 minutes or another 10 seconds, whatever it is, because each time that you tell yourself no, each time you resist that urge, it gets easier. It really does.
Sure
It gets
does.
easier.
Hey, Justin.
Hey,
I'm
Justin
JB.
Brown. Yeah, so, I just want you guys to, this thing, this brain is like a sponge, man, and whatever fluid you, so try to soak up, that's what it's gonna do. So I'm suggesting that you fill your brain with good thoughts. You fill your brain with good positive things. Go to Automobile University. If you don't know what Automobile University is that these days in these cars we've got surround sounds and we got all kinds of methods and ways. Hey, love you too, Justin. We got all kinds of method and ways to listen to stuff. I suggest that you find some kind of motivational thing, speaker. Go on YouTube and find somebody that you really like, that you like their delivery. And at some point, as you're riding down the street, turn off 107.5.
You've heard the same
Well,
song
maybe you should turn on
15
107.5
times.
first, but that's
Oh,
another story.
I didn't. Back to
Anyway, turn off the radio and turn on something positive. And just as you're tooling through traffic and somebody cuts you off, you got yourself surrounded by positivity and it doesn't bother you. So, just some suggestions from somebody that's. I'm only saying what I do, and I'm not saying that what I work will work for you, but I can say it worked for me, and hey, it's worth a try, at least.
I can say on the pump your brakes, if you can put away those kind of triggers in your mind and put in the little more positivity or self-thinking, or kind of fixing your box, whether you need to think inside the box, out the box.
Yeah.
But getting it together, just be whacked out of your box.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much profanity I yell at the other drivers until I had my daughter in the car one day and people were just driving stupid and I'm like, ah! I just got to bite my tongue.
See? Now you got to act like she's in the car with you all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Again, it's like taking the poison and expecting the other person to die. As you're running down the street honking your horn with all that road rage and all that stuff. All that stuff is doing is affecting you. Them people is trying to get where they're going.
All you're doing is
know what I mean?
raising your blood pressure,
Yeah.
stressing yourself out.
Yeah.
Well, no, since I have retired, like sometimes I'll get up and go for a car ride and you guys are like, oh, where'd you go? I drive slow and I don't use my turn signal just to piss other people off.
I went for on a mission.
Hallelujah.
And they're looking at you, expecting to see some old dude with the
And
big
then they
sunglasses
drive by
on.
and they give
And
me
the
some
mask.
hand gestures and then they yell something out. I'm like, have a nice day. God loves you too.
Yeah. There's no sense in the whole rage thing. It is so much easier. It is so much more rewarding. It is such a comfortable thing to not be stressed about everything. Some people it becomes like a lifestyle.
Or it's that just kind of that drama, that harsh, instead of just walking in the door and getting a hi, or that just comforting, oh, you get this rock.
Yeah.
That
One
roar.
I made the thing on Facebook today. It said, if your ex is in the woods and a tree falls and hits her, does anybody hear her scream for help? And the comment was, I'm not sure if anybody heard her, but it might be a good idea to remove the chainsaw from your trunk.
Yeah.
Just to be in a heads up,
Allegedly.
Allegedly, it wasn't me. Would you go back? What did you say?
Not
Future
if there's
sponsor.
anything wrong with a possible future sponsor.
No, yeah, right.
No.
Okay, never mind. Go back and see what she said about her casserole or something. There was a long one on there. I think that she was talking about.
Maybe you can make up a card or paper with how you put the chicken salad together and pass it
Yeah,
out. The
yeah.
box had the same good
Yeah.
chicken. So
Yeah, that's
yes,
a good idea.
The box
Hey,
has the same
And if you guys are also out there and you've gotten one of the boxes and you know the ingredients and you made something real cool with it, send us a private messages or put it on the YouTube, on the Facebook
The
Recovery Room page, and give us your recipe for what you made with that wonderful blessing box of food. You know, if I wasn't feeling like so like wrung out from that ride today, I would spend a little minute here trying to go and find the recipes and kind of send it to me. But at any rate, it's
We'll
it's
get
a
it shared.
beautiful, wonderful thing, and it looked like she sent a picture and it looked like a really nice casserole. So it's all good, all gravy. So what else is in the news today, Sean? What's happening?
I have no idea. Mostly I looked at the back of my eyelids.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were on the road today, and so we just, all my thoughts were like I said, thoughts like pump your brakes and, look ahead. You know how you're driving, people are like looking right in front of them. My dad used to tell me when I was driving, it says, look 10 cars, or look as far up the road as you can see, because if you can see it happening up there, you stand a better chance of being able to avoid it instead of it being right in your face.
That'd be like a life lesson.
Yeah. Look up the road a little bit. You can see the trouble, and don't run for it. Hey, look who's there.
There's my darling.
Yeah, she's
Fresh
a
out of
newbie.
bed.
She's one of our teen recovery room Nubians. We got a really bright future there, a really good outlook on this thing, and I'm really proud of it. She looks just like a mother when I met her. All those years ago.
We're gonna
Like an
get
axe
her
murderer,
on
what are
here.
you talking about?
We're gonna get her on here this next week or so. Let her share her
Share her experience.
her high school story. Where are things at in your day?
Yeah, and we'll get Jaquavian on here too. He's been asking to come on. We need to get these young people on and let people know where they're at on it, because again, our goal is to make being clean and sober and intelligent and productive, make that the cool thing. Make that the thing that kids want to aspire to.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
I sent you that video where it shows one of the Muppet guys, and it's like, this is your brain on sugar. Did you get that one?
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't. I haven't looked at it.
Basically, it was a parody from the "This Is Your Brain on Drugs," but I mean, there's other things that destroy your body besides just the drugs. It's, there's eating addictions. There's people who are bulimic who they're destroying their bodies because they want to look perfect and this and that, and they'll eat the food and then throw it up. And then my one friend was just back in the hospital again. Because she did that her whole entire life, and she destroyed all her organs from that. So there's other things other than drugs and alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Talk about people's sex addictions and whatever else, but
No, there's a lot more stuff, but I think that what we have found out along the way is that it is the same. The same thing causes it. It's usually some sort of pain, first of all, that you're trying to amass that causes it, but also the thing that you'd have to do to cure it or solve it is the same. You've got to change your habits. If your habit is to every time you open a refrigerator grab an eclair, then you got to stop that.
Well, I just ate 12 ice cream sandwiches.
Yeah, I saw you. If your thing is every time you open the refrigerator, grab an ice cream sandwich, then and you're worried about your waistline or whatever the case might be, then stop. Did she have one?
He's there creeping by. Guilty.
Yeah. If you are stuck and addicted to betting on the ponies and the horses and gambling, then you gotta avoid those places that people gambling. I mean, even online. You know what I mean? If you are addicted to pornography, you got to stay away from the porn sites and the adult stores. I mean,
But now you could go buy, children can go buy dolls, and when they take the clothes up, they put the dolls in the bathtub, the dolls are wearing stripper clothes once you put them in cold water. Yeah.
Only you would know this.
It's been all over the internet and the news now.
Yeah. Oh, there's some sick individuals out here. And again, if you're one of those people that think that it's really exciting or whatever, you're addicted to children and stuff, or you know, pedophilia, whatever.
No, I'm all for you bring back public execution. You see someone that just raped a child, did something, hang them in the town square.
Automatically.
Bam, done.
Done.
Yeah.
Guess
Yeah,
what?
there should be
The next
no.
person that
there
thinks
should-
about doing that,
Yeah, there should be no have to worry about a trial and spending
There-
all that
it-
money.
It might have been Tennessee, one of the states that they're cutting the guy's junk off.
Yeah. Well, that's probably not a bad idea. You know, as you know, I worked with Susan Sharp and you know, her daughter Carly was brutally raped and murdered, and this dude is still somewhere on death row. You know what I mean? Found guilty, you know, sentenced to death, but still sitting around and, you know, looking healthy and, you know, getting his 3 meals a day and whatever, and appealing the death sentence. I mean, so, you know, I don't know where I stand on all that. I can really care about less about, you know, death penalty or not death penalty. I want to start to figure out how we get to that mental illness, that thing that drove this person, whether that mental illness and then fueled with some drug addiction, drove this person to be outside their mind enough to do something as heinous as that.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, was it doesn't even, you know, somebody doesn't maybe necessarily have to be affected by addiction, but between, or even mental illness, but when you get into the self-destruction or the bulimic or the cutting or the, you know, and like you said, normally it's trauma or pain that, you know, some people don't do drugs, that wasn't their thing, but, you know, they'll tear themselves up or they'll, you know, self-destruct themselves in one way or another. And that's where you've got to, it's a behavior change. It's a recovery process.
Her family actually, some of the relatives actually worked for me at a restaurant in town, and I met Carly and the mom before.
Yeah.
And, you know, and just, I mean, I didn't know them, but
Yeah. No, both very interesting characters, and you know, and there's so many stories that swirled around about you know, her addiction being responsible for it happening, the people that she involved herself with. You know, it was a horrific situation, and we need to start getting to the forefront. I mean, you know, I was just today, I signed up recently on some thing for a Joe Biden thing, and now they're sending me text every day and asking me, could you chip in $5? And I'm like, no.
Could you send me $5?
You know, could you send me $5, or can we take these same techniques that you guys are using to raise all of this money for some stupid campaign, and they raised $26 million in 24 hours. How many kids could that feed? You know what, we're going to vote for you. It doesn't matter how many millions of dollars you got, we're going to vote for you or not anyway. You know? So I want them to start. I think that the person that gets to be president is the ones that raise the most money to help people. It's my new platform. That's how I want our political system to work. You're not just raising money so you can have the most money in your war chest to do the most commercials, hate commercials. You know, you're raising money because you're showing that you're a person that could do it, and that you're here to help people.
Focus and do the work.
You know, I mean, what do you do with all that money?
Well, I don't think the president should be paid at all. Do what Trump's doing, just give your money away.
Hey, listen, if he did one thing that I agree with, that's one of them, you know?
And I like that's not for just a one, sometimes it's for the vets, sometimes it's for the homeless, just picks a different, whatever it is each time.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what he does or what any of those people do up there. At the end of the day, and really at the beginning of the day, it is how we treat each other. It's how you and I treat each other. Because I mean, I'm not planning on Trump coming to my house to do anything. I'm not planning on Pelosi showing up in my house to do anything. I don't want him there for nothing, for that matter. But I do know that I need to take care of the people in my immediate vicinity.
They're not the ones you're going to run into at the grocery store or
Right,
walking
I'm
your
not gonna see
dog
Trump
or whatever. No, you got to take care of.
I'm not going to hand Trump one of the boxes of food.
And he wouldn't hand you one. Oh,
So,
sorry.
Anyway, let's take care of each other, guys. I mean, that is a clear and present message. And the other one that I've been given today is that I'm asked, what time is it? No, I'm asked often, when do you quit? When do you give up? When is enough enough? When is it that person that you've been sticking with and staying with, and they just can't get it right? They keep relapsing. They keep going back to rehab. Depending on your relationship with them, like especially if you're personal, like a family member or whatever, I got two things to say about it. As a family member, stick around and to the bitter end, because you don't want to say, "Oh, I wish I had her." You don't want to end up beating yourself up. You want to have felt like you've done everything you could have possibly done to help that person, because some people just are not going to be helped. I mean, it's really as simple as that. And to that person that's in a relationship with somebody, it depends on where your relationship is, where your sobriety is, where your recovery is, where your discovery is. If you are weak in it and you have the ability that you're going to slip as a result of that relationship, you have to leave that relationship. It's tough. Love is a many splendid thing, as they say. But sometimes you can't put love of someone else in front of the love of yourself.
Well, that's the same reason they
If you
don't
can't change
recommend.
without compromising yourself, it's that simple. I don't care if it's your home life. I don't care if it's your job, whatever. You can't change without compromising yourself. Grab your stuff, leave.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's really that simple.
Yeah. There's all kinds of fishies in the sea.
Especially in recovery, that's why they, recommend that you don't put yourself in a relationship, or if you have to question if you're working on your own sobriety, and, or if you're trying to be with someone who's you're still using or relapsing, then yeah, you have to.
Right before the show, I had a friend of mine who lived just north of Gainesville. I haven't heard from him in about 3 weeks. We would talk almost every day. She was in a horrible relationship, and he actually dumped her in Clearwater and then left. She had to hitchhike all the way back up there to Lake Butler. She talked to me about ending her life many times. And then I didn't hear from her for like 2 weeks. I kept sending her messages. And then I finally heard right minutes before the show, sent me a thing that she's doing great. She got back with her high school sweetheart. And they rekindled their friendship. They rekindled that in their relationship, and she's doing great. But I had deep fear that she just, took the wrong road. And I was very, very happy that she's doing well.
Yeah.
And those of you guys out there in Facebook land, whatever else, you guys need to call your friends. Make sure they're still doing okay.
Yeah.
I
agree. You'll be surprised what you as a person, the impact that you can have on somebody with just a phone call. Because what more often than not, they're just so amazed that somebody was thinking about them. And then what happens a whole lot of the times, they were thinking about you too.
and that's the, I was about to say that, like, you called and they're like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you. And you're like, yeah.
No, it's
But
true. It's
true,
true.
yeah.
If this brain can have all the electrical activity that it has in it, there's no reason to me believe that it's not a big, huge transmitter and a big, huge receiver.
I think you concept.
No,
Good concepts.
so
Like, I had this buddy of mine, and he would call me every time I was on the toilet. I'm either on the toilet a lot, or you think about when I'm on the toilet. I don't know what the outcome of that was, but I was like, he was like, what are you doing? I'm like, guess. He's like, damn, again?
well, see, he don't know that's a healthy thing for you.
Yeah, very healthy
That's a
thing.
good thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when I was sick, I had two choices. I could have fought and gotten better. I mean, even the doctor said, you ain't gonna make it. And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I got this.
Yeah,
You know?
in an unconscious kind of way. Hold on, could you switch off? I got this picture. I wanna bring it up. Hold on, give me 1 second.
We got 19 minutes for commercials.
We
too.
got 19 minutes for commercials, Don.
I don't have 19 minutes worth of commercials.
You got 19 minutes, 2 commercials.
I only have a minute.
And Sean is producer and.
Yeah, he's turned into a producer.
Yeah, he is.
Only Wednesday.
But we're gonna get you a whiteboard too, Sean, so you can. Oh,
Why is it
my.
gonna be a whiteboard?
Who you calling a whiteboard? Well.
Because chalk would be messy, but whatever.
Hold on,
that-
Sean, I'm trying to get to it. I had it.
What are you trying to
Get
put
you a
up?
board, whatever.
All right, so let me go here. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll get it here in a second.
Well, it was nice when Richie's daughter came here yesterday, because she got here and just went on the couch and just, it was
Crashed.
like she was home. And she didn't have any stress around her. She
Yeah,
just
that was
went,
really good.
she melted into the couch.
It was
And we
gorgeous.
just talked about it for a minute. It's like, it's nice to have that comfort, that knowing that, hey, I'm here, I'm good, I'm safe. You
Yeah.
know.
You have
And
no-
of course,
yeah.
Princess Leia, she's like, all right, I was like, gotta guard her, girl. And
She
stood-
got her butt up there in that bed last night. She even got under the covers. Well, Kyla at first said, I'll help you cook dinner and make the bed, and no, she hit the couch and was just, mouth just, and gone.
I just wish everybody watching had that same safe place to go to, you know?
Yeah, that's true. This is what I wanted to put up. This is this guy that you're sitting here watching right now. That should still be in the screen when it comes up. This was him, and this picture was taken October of last year. And this was in
I haven't seen it.
this was in
no,
Lakewood
it's
Ranch
good.
Hospital. He was delirious. He was talking outside his head. His ex was in the waiting room taking all of his stuff and selling it while he was in the hospital. I mean, he was just out here. And look at the one behind him there. Behind him there is little Miss Chrissy. So the reason that this picture is so important to me is that we can go back. Is that we do a lot of stuff about the before and afters, right? And this is one that you guys have really had the opportunity to see with your own eyes. Okay, for those of you guys who have watched the show over a period of time, because some of you guys have been with us from the very beginning, and if I forget to thank you for that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Your support means so much, and so you've seen, because both of these guys have been on the Recovery Room for about, Chrissy maybe a little bit over, but if you go back, if you feel like doing a Recovery Room marathon anytime, know, there are a bunch of them that are on our YouTube page, which is the Recovery Room SRQ. That's our YouTube page, and you can also go back and there's some archives on Facebook. But you know, there's been a lot of good stuff. Just like Glenn yesterday, 8 months ago, Glenn was in a really bad place, and you know, he told us, what was that, last time we did the show Tuesday, he said he had 8 months in. My God, it's an amazing thing, you know,
Absolutely.
8 months. That's a long time, especially for somebody who I know was really struggling. And so, you know, there's people that, you know, if they could do it, then it's doable, you know, and that's the main thing about it. The stuff is doable. You can do it. You can do it. I don't even know why we even go there. I mean, it's not like it's something that's impossible. It's really hard.
Well, to me, it was simple. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's simple, you know. I got more to do, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well, you
speaking of people
know.
not doing well, I haven't heard about Pastor Buck in a while. How's he doing?
Pastor Buck is doing good. He private messaged me earlier today. He's doing
Good.
good. He sent me something about what was it? McDonald's using meat that's
You
not
mean-
so good, like
Excuse me.
from humans.
Specifically,
I saw that thing
specifically
a couple
children.
weeks ago.
I don't know
Oh,
where
Yeah,
it
my
came
God,
from.
I was like, you talking about conspiracy theories. I mean, you go to YouTube, I mean, Facebook, yeah, YouTube and too, but you go to Facebook, you can find anything, and if you fall for it, then that's all you.
You'll be in the buyer
There was this
basement.
other thing in there. It said there's a restaurant in California that exclusively sells human meat. And that's,
Sells what kind?
it's all like human flesh.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's, you know, they had that movie way back when called Soylent Green. This is how far I go back as a movie buff. And they talked about that. That was how only way we were going to survive is we just started recycling ourselves. And then there was that movie where they crashed on the side of a mountain too.
Well, that was a true story with the
Yeah.
soccer team.
Yeah.
But then you see like fried green tomatoes, you know.
Yes. I saw that too.
And every time someone's like, "You want some fried green tomatoes?" I'm like,
No.
"Nah, good."
Yeah, I'm good.
I thankfully don't watch these things.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, that picture means a lot to me because I mean I was there and I was trying to take care of both of them and you know trying to do this and whatever else and I don't say that to like for any pat on the back or anything, but it is rewarding to see the progress, to see where they both are now.
that's
You
what
know,
Judy said. The healing of Christy and Sean since then is amazing. Sean had an enormous amount of loving help at home in his healing.
Oh,
Should pat on
it
the back.
felt great when I saw the doctor and he said, "No, you're Sean, you're great." And you guys sitting in the car, and
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah,
"What he
we
says?
waiting-
The
we
great
see him
news,
walking
you're
up.
fired."
we see him walking up and he's got this sad face on. It's like, oh shit, they told me he's gonna die. He says no. They say I'm too healthy. I'm like, yeah. That's what you want to hear, right? Isn't it crazy? You're disappointed you find out you're too healthy.
Well, yeah, but I like if they could do it tomorrow, I would be all for it because I am so exhausted all the time. I mean, I'm not. Yes, I'm alive and I'm functioning. I'm driving, doing this and that. But if I go grocery shopping, that just wipes me out for the whole day. You know, that's the extent of my energy level, and it won't get any better than that.
Well, it's better than it was because you couldn't do that. Drive a car, go to the grocery store. I mean, you were homebound. I mean, you know, unless we took you out and that was mainly to the hospital somewhere, you were homebound. And so now to see, I mean, listen, we just talked about you just driving to Gainesville and back. That would be unheard of. Like, no, you had thoughts of doing it back then, but you would not have been able to.
Oh, in
So-
my mind that was.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
yeah. You were there already.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know, and so the whole point is that the first point is that you don't know what you don't know, right? You don't know. I mean, the doctor to tell you got 2 weeks to live, and then 10 years later, you're still around, you know. You don't know what you don't know. When you're riding down the street, you don't know. When somebody has an accident, you think if they'd have known not to make that left turn and would have got T-boned,
They wouldn't have left
they
the
wouldn't
house
have left the
until,
house,
like,
or they
2
would have made a
minutes.
right. As opposed, we don't know what we don't know. We don't know, like we were saying, what's going on in that person's brain that's in that other car that is experiencing a road rage or is going slow. They may have just run out of gas, or they may have just gotten the word that somebody in their family something happened to them.
Maybe you just had a
Well,
bad day at work and you just
It's like
hit
kind of
'em
weird, but
home.
every single time I was hit riding my motorcycle or that you had on collision, I put my right shoe on first. So now, if I accidentally put the right shoe on first on my left shoe, I take all the clothes off, I get back into bed, and then I start the whole process all over again, wiping that negativity away.
That's what it is.
I'm just saying, knock on wood, it just, no.
I won't bring it up.
Justin Brown wishes everybody and their families blessings. He says, Soldier Sean is a fighter and an army of angels. Wish you many blessings to you and your family. Yeah,
Amen.
yeah,
Thank you.
you're a fighter and a giver. And somebody said to me today, just so you know, I passed it on to him, it's like, and Sean guy, he's just got this whole aura of being a very generous person. I said, yes, he is, and you do. And so, and it rubs off on other people. You know what I mean? And that's what we got to do. If before we go, I'll find our biggest, our main, our Marion Williams, our biggest fear, quote, because that is it. I mean, we are huge. We are like, we can do things that are unimaginable. I mean, I think about that. I just saw a picture yesterday, and I'm from New York, right? And I've been gone for a while, but they showed a picture of the New York skyline, and it was amazing to me. When you think about these tall buildings, and some of them, like, when you look at it from that particular, they're like pencil thin, straight up hundreds of stories, and they've been built. I mean,
somehow this far together too.
yeah, I mean, and it's the most amazing thing that they stand and people are living in them, and imagine it from the ground up. Imagine it. I mean, you start that thing right there on the ground and you look up and it ends up 100 stories up. It's an amazing thing.
It's a creation.
So this creation thing is an amazing thing. This creation that we are is an amazing thing. Just think about all the things. I mean, you put the stuff in this end and it comes out that end, but in the process, it takes and uses all the stuff that it needs off of what you put in it and then discards the rest. I mean, that's an amazing function,
Filtration.
I mean, these eyes that go through 18 different processes to be able to see, the ears that have these little itty bitty hammers inside of them that, who thought of that? It certainly wasn't a human being. It had to be a creator. And so here's my take on the creator. The creator has given us this great, wonderful place, this wonderful vehicle to explore it in, and it's up to us to create whatever it is that we're here to create. Stop blaming God for everything. God don't do it. We do it. If it's earthquakes and all, that's his nature. I mean, things are going to happen, But it's not very, so you're God. Well, how did he let those children die? Well, some idiots were the people that starved the kids or dropped a bomb on them or something in the first place, So
Well,
get
this
yourself a
thing
good
about-
God.
With NASA sending all their different probes out, they just found this planet. It's 1/3 the size of Earth, but it's got salt water on it. So they're thinking that they're getting ready to drill into it and see if they can find any microorganisms that are in there.
Well, usually where there's water, there's life.
Yeah.
One form or another, whether it's
That's what I'm
bacteria or...
Of course, they're like, everyone's thinking, well, there's water, there's life. It could be oil, it's like.
Yeah. Well, I think we should give a shout out to our sponsors. Executive producer Don
Yeah, that guy.
has put together some nice commercials for us. We
brings the
appreciate his
recovery room
hard
to
work.
you.
The Recovery Room is brought to you by not those guys. That is us. All right. That's not it. Here we go. There it is.
One more.
Warriors.com, the website that's dedicated to connecting our armed forces and first responders to businesses that appreciate their valor. For more information, go to POWarriors.com or call 336-501-0017. PO Warriors, protecting our warriors that protect us.
Hammock Haven. Spice up your next event with the Hammock Haven experience. To find out more, go to thehammockhaven.com or call 941-201-5226. The Hammock Haven. Chillax a minute. Yeah, I gotta fix the business cards too.
Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, those are our sponsors, and I want you guys to know that here at the O'Nico's Farmers Market, this is our studios here in the O'Nico's Farmers Market Studios.
Home.
It's our home, and those guys are really great. And if you haven't been to the market yet, please do show up. Again, that address is 5108 15th Street East in beautiful downtown O'Nico. There's a Restore here, there's a Subway, there's a Dollar General, there's a Happy, and that Happy place where you can rent furniture. Those guys are really happy in there too. They got the right name. You walk in there, they're the happiest people.
Ooh, that's a place
I
to
guess
be.
they're happy to have a job. I guess. But what else is in our another sponsors. We got to make. We'll be putting a commercial for us. The Music Go Round, and it was really interesting. When we moved into this spot, I never knew these people were even here. They got a place here called Music Go Round, which is a place where they buy used instruments for resale, but they buy instruments and equipment and all that, and it's really, they got a lot of cool stuff in there, and the owners are really awesome as well. And so that will be another one of our sponsors, the merry-go-round. But the O'Nico's Farmers Market has opened their arms to us, and they've been really great to us, and we want to show them all the appreciation we can. We'll be doing I guess we'll call it the Corona concert series. To be sponsored by the Music Go Round, to be sponsored by the Recovery Room, to be sponsored by our local Boost Mobile that's here, and a couple of other people. So live music, socially distancing, it will be implemented, mask of course, but we'll be outside, and we have a parking lot where we got plenty of space, and so we'll be bringing in some of the area's finest musicians, and some regional acts as well. And so it's a lot going on. I mean, one of the things that I neglected to mention about the O'Nico's Farmers Market is when you come there, when you walk in, what you see are small businesses, accumulation of small businesses. So in this whole atmosphere of gloom and doom, this one little space here has right now, and it has room for 110. I would imagine they're at about 60 right now. 60 small businesses starting during the corona. This is something we need to keep in mind. That's something that's very special, and they're offering the first 3 months of rent for free. I mean, I love these people. They want to really make a difference in this community, and
they care.
And they want us to help them, I'm motivated. I'm motivated to help and do anything that I can possibly do.
That's as we were in there earlier and just kind of observing. It's like, these are all people that have the opportunity to be in here working. Thinking, what are these are all in here working, and they have that opportunity in that place. It's very cool.
Sean, final words?
What's up with the movie? Do we know when that's going to be coming back on there again?
September. They got to get a new screen.
Gotcha. I've got 100-inch screen. I don't know if that would make a difference or not.
I'll check with them, but yeah, it's coming back. Parting shots besides that?
Just wash your hands, don't be a jerk, call up your loved one.
Yeah, yeah. Do the Corona dance. Be happy. You know, it's not your aptitude, it's your attitude that determines your altitude, guys. Have an attitude of love and kindness and compassion and generosity, and the world will be a better place. Recovery Room signing out.
Peace out. We love you
So it
guys.
is. Peace.
You sailed away and left me with nothing to say. You already knew I would come searching anyway. So I sailed across the sea to see if you were waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep